Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Woody's Gear Reviews. Today we're going to look at a couple things, and let me kind of preference what we're looking at here. Not everything's going to be for something that I have coming up. There's some things that I just saw and, hey, I bought them. But in October, we're going to be going on a camping trip, and we've got a blow-up tent, and it's maiden voyage, first time taking it out. So as I was thinking about this trip, I just wanted to get some couple items for that trip, and I'll kind of go over what we got. Like I said, not everything in this bundle. This is going to be a Temu haul video. Everything that I picked up was at Temu. Not everything's going to be going on the camping trip, but some of the things are. So let's get started. First thing we have is these things are pretty cool. On this particular trip, it's not a backpacking trip. It's going to be a drive my truck out there, set up camp. Truck's going to be right there, blow up tent, kind of deal. They have a park there. We're going to actually Lake Livingston National Park. So that being said, the first thing I got was just some of these, and these are just basically some kits I was going to fill, but never bad to have them. I won't need them for this trip, but usually when I go backpack camping, and then hunting season's right around the corner, and I'll throw one of these in my bag. But these are pretty much just the 10-pack compressed towelettes. And basically you just add water, it turns into a towel that you can clean yourself off with, let it dry, use it to wipe stuff up. They're just good little solid towels. They don't take up a lot of space, and this was a little bit more expensive to buy it in this fashion because I just have mine in I've got a bunch of these towelettes, but I just have them in a Ziploc bag. And these came sealed. So it's sealed on the inside. Let me see if I can get one open. Oh, they're taped. All right, well, I don't have fingernails, so that's not going to work. So we'll cut the tape off. Okay. So they're sealed in this tube. I'm not going to say that these tubes are waterproof, right? But they're water resistant. And I bought 4 of them. These things are $1.49 a piece for 10. I just wanted the tubes. I've got plenty of the refills inside, and it's a lot cheaper. I think I got 100 of these for like $5 of just the refills, right? Just these. 100 of them for like $4, $5, something like that. But I wanted the tubes just to get them out of the Ziploc bags. So these things, when they're put in the water and they expand, you're looking at a sheet that's about 7.87 by 8.66 inches wide. So almost 8 inches by a little over 8.5 inches in size per towel. Anyways, I just thought, for $1.49 a piece, they weren't bad. I bought 4 of them just to have the tubes. The next thing we're going to look at is this thing. I kind of saw it and I was like, man, I really don't need another one, but the price was right. I thought I would try it out. It's super small. It just seemed like it would fit in my hunting backpack, but I'm actually going to take it on this trip to try it out. I've got another one that I recently bought, but I'm going to take this one with me. And it's just a small little hatchet, but it's super lightweight compared to other hatchets, right? And I just thought it was intriguing, and hey, it's something. And I thought I was just going to take it on this trip. You can see it's got a composite handle, and it's got some grip there, but I like the angle of this hatchet, the way that the handle goes, right? Kind of keeps your hands away from, hitting the log or anything like that if you're splitting wood. It's got a nice splitting edge to it. It's not super thick, if you can see there. Looks like it's held on fairly decent with this hardware and these metal plates that go into the handle. Now, I'm not going to tell you how deep they go into the handle, but by the way the handle looks, I would imagine that those plates go in there about that deep. That's what I would guess, anyways. But one thing I noticed is it also has this little furrow rod sticking on the side. Yeah, not much to it, but hey, it's a furrow rod, and I don't know if there's anything really 90 degrees. Well, this is. Get all that stuff off. Oh, it sparks. So it'll throw a spark in emergency if you needed it to. And it's got a whistle on there. I don't know how that whistle works. The thing's super tiny, but we'll try it. Well, you can hear it. But it lives in that little sheath. It's got a little pocket or a belt clip on there and a little retainer. Most likely, guys, I'm going to be honest, I'm probably going to put a leather strap on the lanyard hole there, and I'm probably going to build a leather sheath for it. I'm just not a fan of these, and they're bulky and heavy. I think this hatchet would be perfect in my backpack without this, and I could just stitch on a little loop to put that on if I wanted to. But, well, let's see something. Oh, I'm surprised. Most hatchets don't come with an edge. That's actually a pretty sharp edge. Let's cut into something and see. I don't know if it'll cut paper, but it seems fairly sharp. Let's see what we got. I mean, it's sharp, but it's not, slice through paper sharp. But it's got an edge on it. Good enough for, and if you wanted to make it a little bit sharper, you could do that. But it's got a pretty good edge on it from the factory and should be good enough to chop some small wood and make some kindling. But anyways, this thing was like $15.10. I thought I'd try it out for that. I know there's a lot of Amazon hatchets out there. I just wanted something slim. This was a little bit different. $15. I'm going to throw it in my bag and I'll let y'all know how it works. What do we got next? Next thing we got, these were just like a lot of things. Little impulse buy. I just got some ghost patches. This one's just embroidered. Camouflage. Let me take them out of these packs. I like patches. I have a bunch of them. Actually have let's see, a whole drawer full of patches. I mean, those are all just American flags. But I like patches, and these are just ones that I don't have on any bags or anything. And I have some that I display, military patches and stuff like that. But these are nice and embroidered. It's got the camo on there. You got to watch some of these cheap patches because the facing is glued onto the backing. They're not stitched, so when it gets hot, the graphics pretty much peel off. But these are stitched, so that's good. This one is black and red, but it's reflective. So it's hard to tell, but that's actually reflective tape inside the skull. And these things were probably more than I needed to spend on them, but what were these? I think they were actually, a lot more than I should have spent on them. They're like $3 a patch. But I just thought they were cool. I ordered them. May not be your thing, but they do have some cool patches on there, and every once in a while you can find them on sale. I wanted this particular patch, and just picked that one up while I was in there. Like I said, they're $3 each, but that's not horrible. On Amazon, some decent patches, especially embroidered, could cost you up to $6. So, not too bad. Next thing we're going to look at is these. I got them for, I'm bringing the kids with me on this trip, seeing that it's a family trip. And I just wanted them to have something they could kind of put on like a lanyard around their neck so I could kind of keep up with them. Which, that's why it's a 2-pack. I'm taking my son and my daughter. But they're just little keychain flashlights. I don't know much about these. If I can get them out here. Yeah. How good that did. Well, ain't much to them. All right. So USB-C rechargeable. And I don't know what this is for, to be honest. I mean, it just gets in the way. I really don't know what that... Maybe you could hook it on you like this. Like on your chest strap or something this way, so it's facing out this side COB. But it's got a little lanyard. These things are all, as far as I can tell, that may not be. I think they're all plastic. Let's see. Yeah. That's not. So it's all plastic. But it's just little lights. They don't cost a lot. Kids like playing with flashlights. These things have actually 7 modes. And it says they're 800, the front light's 800 lumens. So we're going to kind of look at this and see if they're charged anyways. Let's see here. All right. So there's actually an on and off switch in the COB. I probably wouldn't have found that. So press it here. It automatically comes on high. I know some people, I don't think it has memory. Okay, so let me hold the button. No, so basically you have to cycle through all the features. I kind of wish people would put a little bit more effort in their lights and at least have it to where you press the button again and it goes off in between modes so you don't have to cycle 7 times to turn the thing off. So that might be a deal breaker for some, but that's your high. Well, I'm trying to figure out what happened there because it shut itself off after I clicked it, which it didn't do earlier. That's your medium. You know what? I'm going to look on the directions. I know some of these cheaper lights, if you keep this light on for over 10 seconds, 15 seconds, something like that, then you could one click off. Let's try that. It's been on for a little bit. We're going to keep it on a little bit and see if it automatically one clicks off. It does. Okay, so there's a timer on it, so you don't have to cycle all the way through. But if you turn it on, then you're going to have to wait for probably about 10 seconds. If you're curious about the light, I'll leave it in the comments how long it says for this particular light. Even if it says that, it may not even say it. But back to the light, high, what they're calling medium or low because there's no other mode. You're going to have your strobe, SOS. Then it'll kick over to the cob on your bright white mode. SOS again there. And then your beacon mode, which is your emergency mode, which is just basically blue and red flashing. And then it's off. Not a lot to them, guys. I mean, it's a 2-pack. They're fairly cheap. I think it was $5 and some change for 2. You know, I could have got them some dollar store little flashlights and stuff like that that just turn on and turn off. But having the blinking lights and, you know, being able to play with it, change it around. And then definitely with kids, they're going to leave them on. And I really don't want to bring a bunch of batteries. So I could take a, you know, power bank with me and charge these things. They're rechargeable. So if they die, they say fast charging. And typically most things that are USB are. But these things have a 14280 battery in them. Just little lights. Try them out. Super cheap. Not going to break the bank. And if they don't make it through the trip, yeah, no harm, no foul. All right. What is the next thing we bought? I bought this kind of for the same reason. I have plenty others. I just saw this. It was cheap. Thought, man, I'd give it a shot. Of course, in great Temu fashion, box is all smashed. Let's see what we got here. Wow, there ain't even an internal box. It's just all shoved in the big box. And that tells me it's going to be a problem. Because when they tape something to the side, that must be where the on and off button is. And if the on and off button is that sensitive to where they feel they have to put this little piece of plastic over it, then that means if you have it in a bag, it's going to turn itself on and off and you're going to kill the battery. So this might be something that, and it's 100% plastic. It's made by Smiling Shark. Yes, it was $3. So you have that, but probably not going to be a good thing to take camping. Maybe not a bad thing to throw in your truck center console or something like that. But yeah, that button sticks out right there on the side, and I can imagine how easy do you have to press that. It doesn't take a lot to turn on. But you just have that light, and as far as I could tell, there's no other features. The light comes on, and it's got one power setting and off. So it's just on, off. It's just got a little forward-facing cob light on it. It's USB-C chargeable, which the good thing about that is it doesn't take batteries, and it's a windless lighter, so you're not actually using any kind of Zippo fuel, butane, anything like that. You just have that. I will say, guys, that thing's super cheap made. Super cheap quality. It functions, though. I don't know how long. It's not waterproof, anything like that. But it does give you a lighter, a flashlight, a charging cable. And what did this thing cost us? Yeah, $3. But you can tell it's no kind of waterproof rating on this whatsoever. Just basically super plain. Not your Zippo, but cheap. That goes to a, yeah. If it wasn't a lighter, I'd give it to my kids and let them play with it. But seeing that it's a lighter, we're not going to do that. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a good deed, and if somebody asks me for a light or a match because they're trying to light a cigarette, I think I'll just give them this, and they could have it for the whole weekend, and that would make me happy and make my $3 that I spent on it worthwhile. But probably not going to keep it. Next thing we've got is, I've seen these a million times. Broke down, bought one. It's not for this trip, but I was going to throw it in my bag just because of the size. I have several bright bandanas that I keep in my go bag, get home bag, my hunting bag. But I finally bought one of these, what they're calling says it right on it. There we go. It's a survival bandana. This is made by, it says it on here too. Let's flip it around. PSK. It's basically a survival bandana. It probably cost me more money than it was worth. But I kind of looked at them on Amazon. I returned something to Temu because it came to me and it wasn't exactly what they said it was. I ordered a knife and they sent me a knife that looked nothing like the picture. Wasn't even, the description wasn't close. They refunded me my money. They actually let me keep the knife, which was awesome. It was like $12, something like that. So I had some money sitting in my account, and this was sitting in my cart. So I went ahead and used that money to buy it. Still have the knife. They let me keep the knife that they sent me, which I ordered a fixed blade. They gave me a folder. I'm not mad at them. Still it is a good little knife. It's D2 steel, good little knife. But it wasn't what I ordered. So it gives you some tips on this thing, like food. Kind of goes over some things that are edible plants. Goes into a little bit of fire starting. When you're lost, you know, kind of how to get your bearings, what to do when you get lost, some water tips down there, uses for paracord in case you don't already know. If you're out there and you have paracord, it'll kind of tell you what else you can use it for. What to do with lightning strikes. But that's pretty much it. But one of the big things that I like about it, guys, is it's 100% cotton and the size. This thing is huge. It's 27.5 by 27.5 square. So it's giant. It is blaze orange. So a lot of different uses. You can use it for a head covering. You can use it, put stuff in to gather, carrying some small wood with you from point A to point B, signaling device, trail marker, splint, sling, all different uses for a bandana. And the kind that you normally buy, the small bandanas, just seem to me like they're too small to do a lot of those things. So this was a good size bandana, and I've wanted one. Now I actually have an official survival bandana, and this thing costs $6. $6 is kind of high for a bandana, but man, look at all that useful information you get on there for free. Anyways, guys, probably too much. If you're getting the theme of this Temu video, this was a bunch of stuff that I probably spent too much on. Probably not your best budget option video, but some of these things weren't that bad. Like I said, I got a free knife, had some money in there, bought some items. Now these are going to be for our camping, and I don't know, have you ever seen multi-tool tent stakes? Because that's what these are. These are multi-tool tent stakes. I would have never thought it in a million years, but they were exactly what I needed. Like I said, I am bringing a pump-up tent. One of those kind that has a, you know, that has a pump that comes with it. You pump it up. Just something for the family, something different. And I was worried about that thing because it's so tall, blowing away. So I wanted to make sure that the four corners were staked down well. And I didn't want the aluminum tent pegs that are short. I didn't want the big giant steel ones that are round. And I saw these and they were slim. I just liked the profile of them, and they have places to attach your guy lines. And I just thought, man, these will work for me. But that is your multi-tool part of it, right? You got a bottle opener. Those are for adjusting the spokes on a bike. And you have I think it's a 6mm, 8mm, and 10mm wrench. Now I get it, guys. Probably never going to use that. I bought them just because I wanted some good rigid tent stakes. These things are made out of 420 stainless. They're going to last me for as long as I need them to. And they're going to stay with that blow-up tent. Now, these were kind of expensive for tent stakes. $12.60 to be exact. I looked on Amazon. I didn't really find anything that appealed to me. Other than, yes, I could have bought the round nail-looking type tent stakes for a lot cheaper. But these were thin. I know they're going to last me forever because they're stainless. You get that little carabiner, and you can kind of carabiner them all to themselves. If I can get them apart here. But it kind of fit a need, and yes, I ordered stuff super early. Because I was worried that with the shipping and everything, that they weren't going to get here for this trip that we're doing in early October. So I was kind of under a time crunch. I saw these and we're like, okay, that should work. And I bought them. I don't know how this thing really would work. No, I guess like that. Okay. Makes sense. All right, so that's how you can hold them all together and won't lose them, I guess. Or if you do, you're in trouble because you're going to lose them all. But there's 6 stakes here. I need 4. I probably won't. Well, I'm going to bring them all with me. But like I said, it fit the need that I had. It also can be used for multiple different things. So I guess if you look at it, it's pretty pointy. But you get the idea. They were bought for that tent. They should do the job. Probably a lot more money than they were worth, but that's what I paid for them. I wanted to share them in case somebody's looking for something like that. And $12 may not be a bad deal if you're looking for something specific and you can't find it anywhere else. And the last thing is for our tent for the kids. Inside the tent, a lot of times they don't like, nobody likes to get up to turn on a light. I do have some with remotes, but they just seem like half the time they never work or the batteries die real quick. So the last thing that I bought was something that I've seen a lot of people use, and I never thought about using it, but they're such a low LED that they last for a long time. Off of I'll have to show you. And it's just this little rope. Is that Velcro or tape? Velcro. It's just this little rope light. It's 1 meter long. There we go. It just unrolls and you just got this long LED strip light. Right? And you can hang it from the top of your tent, off of a ridge line, off of a daisy chain, anything like that. And then you can just have one of these with it, which is a power bank. This is actually one that, for airport use and stuff, plugs into the wall. Comes with a charger, different charging ports, whatever. But it's a super fast charger, and it's 20,000 milliamp hours. Let's plug it in here. I don't know if this thing, it's charged. And this is why I got it, because you just press the button, turns on and off. Oh, if you hold the button, it dims. That's pretty cool. I didn't know. I didn't really read that in the instruction or in the description. I just thought it was a light that turned on and off. But if you hold it, it'll dim. That's pretty cool. That's going to be ideal. Super cheap. I mean, 1 meter long LED rope light that's USB-C, so it could run for a long time off of something like this. $3.21. I might, if it'll come in time, I might buy 2 more of these before the trip. Now that I know that we could turn them down, like as a night light. My son's 2, 2.5. So something like this would be awesome for him to have a nightlight. And it's not going to blind us, because it gets very dim. Yeah, that's like super low lumens. Almost like a glow stick. It's going to be perfect. Like I said, $3.21. It's going to work for this trip. And, I mean, it's not a bad light to have, because you could run it off of a power bank and not have to have any batteries, no extension cords. You don't have to worry about recharging this per se, just your battery bank. And it would probably, if you had a dedicated battery bank, it would probably run this light for, several days on a low lumen setting. Anyways, guys, that's all I had. Just some stuff for little camping. And as we get closer to this, there might be some other stuff I buy camping related. I know it's not EDC, it's not survival, but it kind of might be. You're out there in the woods. I'm out there with my family. It is a campground. But just some items that I was going to take with me. If y'all like the camping, You know, we camp a lot in the fall. So if you like camping gear, I have bins and bins and bins and bins of camping gears, tents, stoves, you name it. I got a ton of it because that's another hobby of ours, and I buy a lot of that stuff as well. A lot of that doesn't make it onto this channel, but I do have it. If you're curious about any kind of camping gear, hit me up. Don't mind doing a video or giving you advice or letting you know what I have and how it works. Anyways, guys, do me a favor. Like, share, subscribe. Most of the people that watch the videos don't like, they don't share, they don't subscribe. If you do watch a video and it's not the most horrible thing that you've ever seen, do me a favor, give me a like. It just helps keep the channel relevant and helps the algorithm push us out there and lets me to continue to do what I'm doing. Also, there's 3 ways to support the channel. There's Witty's Gear, Buy Me a Coffee, memberships. If you want to help out, those are 3 great ways to do it. Other than that, love y'all. See you on the next one.